Hello, boys and girls. I'm Miss Amy, and I'm here with our Behavior Basics lesson for the week. And our Behavior Basic lesson is on smooth transitions. Okay, so smooth transitions do look a little different when we're at home versus when we're at school. Okay, we still have to do smooth transitions though. So that includes not just listening to Miss Amy, but listening to mom and dad when they need you to transition and do things too. Okay, so let's read our story and then we can discuss what smooth transitions are, and we can talk about maybe how different transitions at home could be smooth. Okay, so smooth transitions, and then we have school. At school and at home, we have a lot of transitions. Transitions are changes in activity that allow for preparation. So when we move from one activity to another, coming to school is a transition. So waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth and getting ready to go to the kitchen table to do your assignments, that's a transition to school. Even though you're not really leaving home, it's still a transition to school. Putting my belongings away is a transition. So in between assignments, putting your resources away. Work center rotations is a transition. So when you move from one activity to another, it's a transition. Cleaning up is a transition. We got to clean up our stuff when we're done with them, right? Everybody does their part. Going to recess and lunch is a transition. So finishing your assignment and waiting for mom or dad to make some lunch, that's a transition. Or taking a little break and going outside to play with your pet dog or your pet from your house, that's a transition. Very important. Returning back to class is a transition. And returning back to an activity or starting a new activity at home is a transition. Or coming on a video chat with Miss Amy. That's a transition, huh? Yep. Going to the bus is a transition. It sure is. I bet some of you wish you were riding the bus right now, huh? I wish you were too. Sometimes transitions are hard because I need to stop what I'm doing. It's hard to stop what you're doing sometimes, huh? Especially if you really like it. Yeah. Sometimes transitions are hard because I get confused. Yeah. I need to stay calm during transitions. So you gotta take a nice deep breath. Do it with me. Keep calm during transitions. Mhm. My teacher will help me transition with many tools like a schedule, a timer, or a warning. Yeah. So what Miss Amy likes to do is she likes to give you a warning and say, in 2 minutes, we're going to transition to this next activity. Or we'll do our daily schedules while we're working during our activity, so you know what our objectives are during our activity and you know when that lesson will be over. It helps with those transitions, doesn't it? There's lots of things teachers do to help. We have timers. Have you used a timer before? If I need help during a transition, I will raise my hand. Do you remember from last week? If you need something and you want the teacher's attention, you raise your hand. If you need help, help, I need Miss Amy, I need help. Miss Amy will be there. Just raise your hand. Yep. Okay, that's the end of our book that we are reading today, okay? So let's go to our discussion questions. Okay, so I have up on our screen the overview of the story that we just read, and we are going to talk about our smooth transitions, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask you if you give a thumbs up if you think the answer is yes, or a thumbs down for the answer no, okay? So thumbs up means what? It means yes. Thumbs down means what? It means no. Good job. Okay, is reading a book a transition? Is reading a book a transition? No, it's not really a transition, is it? We can transition from reading a book, but actually reading a book is not a transition. Okay. Is checking your schedule a transition? Yeah, because you're checking your schedule to see what comes next so that we can move on to that activity, huh? Yes, checking our schedule is a transition. Good job. Is lining up for PE a transition? Are we getting ready to go to PE? Yes, it's a transition. We're preparing to go to PE. So that means it's a transition. We're preparing for something, getting ready for something. Okay. Is writing your name on your worksheet a transition? Hmm. Is writing your name on your worksheet a transition? No, that's a task. We are writing our name on our worksheet because that's how we start our task for the activity, right? So writing our name on a worksheet is not a transition. Is sitting in your chair a transition? Am I doing anything to prepare for anything? Nope. We are not transitioning to anything if we are just sitting in our chair, are we? Yeah. Is coming to school a transition? Is coming to school a transition? Yes. We are getting in the car, we are getting on the bus, we are coming to school, and that's a transition, huh? We're getting ready to learn. So we're doing something to get ready, right? Is brushing your teeth and, well, okay, let me take a step back. Is moving from the kitchen to your learning area at home a transition? Yes. Moving from one spot to another to start your learning activities. That's like going to school, but a little different this year because we're doing our schoolwork at home, right? And you're watching your videos with Miss Amy. So if you leave the kitchen from eating breakfast and you go to your table for your morning calendar video, that is absolutely a transition. You are getting ready to learn with Miss Amy. Yes, good job. Is sleeping a transition? Am I transitioning to anything right now? No, sleeping is not a transition. If you're sleeping, you're just sleeping. You're not really getting ready for something, right? You're getting ready for dreams, I guess, but you're not really transitioning while you're sleeping. So sleeping is not a transition. No, no. Is walking to the cafeteria a transition or walking to the kitchen? Yes, it sure is because we are getting ready to eat our food. I like to eat food. Do you like to eat food? Yep, and walking to the kitchen or walking to the cafeteria, that gets us ready to eat, right? We have to go there so we can eat. So we're transitioning to the food source, kitchen or cafeteria. Yeah. Is going to the bus a transition? Or going to the car because you have an appointment? Is going to the bus or a car a transition? Yes, you are using that car to transition to your next activity or your next appointment, right? Yes, going to the bus and going to the car is a transition. Okay, is talking to Miss Amy a transition? Is talking to Miss Amy a transition? No. Talking to Miss Amy is very important, right? When we get on our video meetings, that's very important. But the actual chatting with Miss Amy is not a transition. Getting onto the computer and having mom or dad help set up the meeting, that's a transition. But just talking to Miss Amy is not the transition. That's the activity. And then we use our flashcards and we do different things, right? That's the activity, not a transition. So does that make sense, little boy? Um, does that make sense, boys and girls? I think that transitions are very difficult, but the more you practice them and the more you listen with your ears, the better you will get with them, okay? And remember, you have to stay calm during transitions. It's easy to get confused, but just take your deep breath and just move along and do what the adult is asking you to do. Remember that, okay? All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk again soon. Bye.